I'm 3% Irish.
Oh.
Who knew? Luck of the Irish. So did you see the video of the Russia fighter jet taking down our $32 million drone? Will we go to war? Won't we?
As far as an active war goes, I'm not gonna go there. Incidents happen, and clearly we do not seek armed conflict with Russia. It probably broke up. There's probably not a lot to recover, frankly. As far as the loss of anything of sensitive intelligence, etc., as normal, we would take, and we did take mitigating measures. So we are quite confident that whatever was of value is no longer of value.
General Milley, just so you know, parts that broke off into the Black Sea, the Russians have already confiscated.
Really?
Lindsey Graham says, let's go.
President Biden, you're the Rodney Dangerfield of world leaders. Nobody respects you. And if you don't change your game and up your game, we're going to have World War III.
With more on this, let's welcome back to the program our very good friend, watched him last night too, Bret Baier, host of Fox News Special Report and the #1 best-selling author of To Rescue the Republic, Ulysses S. Grant, The Fragile Union, and The Crisis of 1876. Good morning, Bret Baier. How are you?
Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. So real quick, before we get to the news of the day, how are your basketball brackets looking?
Heinous.
I know.
Just totally horrible. I had Arizona going long. I had Virginia going a couple. It was upset city. So I got to regroup.
Right. Can start over. Can we start over again? No, I don't think so. But do you know that only, considering the millions, tens of millions of people who fill out brackets, whether it's with friends or in office pools, only 787 people are still left. That's almost unheard of. That's never happened before.
Not you and
because
Brett.
of Arizona. I had Iowa and Arizona in the championship because I went to Iowa.
Well, President Biden had Arizona winning, so you're in good company.
That's the only thing he and I have in common. All right, so speaking of President Biden, what should we do with the drone going down, the Russians taking it down?
Listen, it's a big, provocative, aggressive action. I mean, if you look at that video, it's not like it was an accident. They were coming after it to dump oil, fuel on it. They were coming to harass it and maybe take pictures of it. And then apparently they clip the one propeller and the thing loses, control and goes down into the Black Sea. I'm not sure the Russians were able to recover much. That's pretty deep there, and I think they have ways in which they explode the sensitive stuff. The military does. But the bottom line is that there was not really any firm statement from the administration or the president. And, I understand not wanting to get in World War III, and I understand not wanting to get in armed conflict, but you also can't be bullied in international airspace. And I think that that's where the criticism is coming from. Now, not everybody is Lindsey Graham, who wants to shoot everything down over Ukraine, but there's a fine line between that to be a little bit more firm.
Oh, okay. Brett, what do you make of the meeting with Xi and Putin upcoming? And you think it's because the world sees weakness with Biden taking a back seat to pretty much every world event?
Yeah, I do. I do think that criticism is legitimate, and I think that the Chinese see an opportunity to step into the void, to step into the vacuum. You look at the negotiation they just did with Saudi Arabia and Iran. Well, that's usually someplace that the U.S. would be. We don't have relations with Iran, but being the world negotiator to get people together and countries together is usually our job. That's what China is doing now. And listen, if Xi Jinping can get Russia and Ukraine to come together to the table and end this thing, that would be exponentially better than where we are now.
And do you have reporters there covering this today?
In Kyiv or in Moscow?
Both.
No, yeah, we have reporters in Kyiv. We got kicked out of Moscow, so we have to rely on wire services.
All right, so I watched your show last night, and somebody on your panel, you were talking about Janet Yellen, assuring the Senate Finance Committee that it remains sound and not to worry, but people in East Palestine, Ohio, will be paying for higher bank fees because of this debacle at the Silicon Valley Bank and at Signature Bank of New York.
it's really amazing if you think about it. You know, the administration keeps saying the taxpayers won't foot the bill, but in reality they are. Because if you bank at any size bank that's not Bank of America or J.P. Morgan or one of the big guys, or Wells Fargo, you are in potential threat. They say the banks are stable, but they're not backing up those deposits like they did with Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. And that was the point yesterday, is that to pay for those bailouts, they're putting fees on banks like community banks in Illinois. And so those fees eventually get passed down to customers. And I think that there's this disconnect that somehow it was just handled, but eventually somebody's paying for it.
Yeah. And you know, I've been watching a lot about this Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and now Biden's daughter, Haley, his daughter-in-law, Haley, has been introduced as another part of this, who got money from a deal with China. What's happening?
What did they do to get $3 million?
Exactly.
I mean, what?
But what's happening with this Hunter Biden? And do you think everything that's happened with Hunter Biden, his laptop, do you think this diminishes Joe Biden's chances of running for re-election?
Well, Democrats don't see it that way. They see this as a witch hunt, as crazy as that sounds, after all the years of making fun of President Trump using that word. I think that there is more there. You know, these are the bank records. This is real hard evidence. These payments are made weeks after Joe Biden leaves the vice presidency to his family members. And they say that it is seed money for future investments. Well,
what does that mean?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that Joe Biden's daughter-in-law, who, as you know, was the widow of Beau Biden and then the girlfriend of Hunter Biden soon after Beau died, she is a school teacher. What was she getting seed money from Chinese for? So I think that there's a lot more there. Democrats don't want to say it, and there's a lot of pushback. But this may not end well in the big picture. I don't think it's going to affect his initial re-election plans, but I don't know.
But does anybody have a clue? I mean, Peter Schweitzer was on Fox yesterday too. Why are the Chinese paying the Bidens millions of dollars for what work? Did they do any? I mean, it just looks like a huge payoff and some form of payback.
You know, it looks like the latter: influence, access. It said it was the Hunter Biden lawyers said it was a legitimate energy company. Well, yeah, it's a legitimate energy company that has direct ties to the communist leadership. So there's more to look at, and I think following the money is where Chairman Comer and the Republicans are right now.
All right, so who's on the show tonight? What do you have for us? Or are you on your way into the office to plan for your show?
I am driving my son to school, and then I am getting ready to go into the office to start the day. We have Vivek Ramaswamy, the newest Republican presidential candidate, who's really articulate on this bank bailout situation. But it'll be interesting to talk to him on a number of fronts. And, we're going to have a dig down on the battle developing between the former president and Governor DeSantis. A new poll out today shows former President Trump up 3 on DeSantis in Florida, which is really interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, he's filed an ethics complaint against DeSantis, President Trump, or former President Trump did. I mean, I don't want to get into, I mean, I don't know if you have the details on it, but it is, I think he's pushing the wrong buttons here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really going after, and he won't let up. I do think that it turns off some part of the Republican Party to see mom and dad fighting.
Yes, nobody likes that. All right, Bret Baier, how's your son doing, by the way?
Doing great. He's in the car. You can say hi.
Oh,
oh
my God.
I love it.
Oh my God, you're a teenager now. You grew up so quickly.
Sheesh.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Is he playing any sports?
He's got basketball and golf.
Good.
He
perfect.
says 6'3".
I know. That's great. Wow. Well, God bless you, and I'm so glad you're doing well, and growing like a weed, it sounds like. Bret Baier, always a pleasure. Thank you so
sir.
much. And hopefully his grandparents here in the Chicago suburbs heard him say hi.
Exactly.
What's up?
All right.
Yeah. What's up?
See you guys.
Total teenager.
Yeah.
That's all you got. What's up?
What's up? I love it. Thanks, Bret.
Thank you. And Bret Baier joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hi, I'm Dave Nissen, CEO of PKF Mueller. The current COVID pandemic has been a challenge for all of us, and many businesses struggled and experienced financial distress. Businesses are focused on recovering now, and fortunately, several government programs are available to ease this process. One such program is the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC, an incentive program designed to bolster businesses that were able to retain their employees during the COVID pandemic. Companies may be eligible for up to $26,000 per employee if they qualify, and they may be eligible even if they previously participated in the Payroll Protection Program, or PPP. Most importantly, this is not a loan. No repayment is required. Billions of dollars are still available, yet many companies are underutilizing this credit due to IRS changes on eligibility. Our dedicated ERC team can help to discover if your business is eligible, determine the amount, and assist with the filing of the credit. Contact me directly to learn more at 630-524-5274 or online at pkfmueller.com.
And Bret Baier's son is so cute. And the reason why I asked how he's doing is because his son, he's had 4 open heart surgeries.
Oh, wow.
But I'm so glad he's doing well. 6'3", playing basketball and golf. And Bret Baier wrote a book.
Yeah, it's called Special Heart, a journey of faith, hope, courage, and love.
Okay. And speaking of love, I'm